Welcome back to the Dragon's Lair, everybody. My name is Wade, and this is my show, Let's Talk, where we talk about Warhammer 40k. We're talking Tyrainds. I'm making a really big playlist where it's got everything in the codex that I want to talk about, and why I like it, why I don't like it, why it's useful, why it's not useful, and some discussion about that. So go ahead and check that out. There is a link to the entire playlist here at the end of the video. And go ahead and check out some of my other channels, Only Lore, where I talk about Warhammer 40k lore, my gaming stuff. I got all kinds of things. Go ahead and check it out. Anyways, let's talk about warriors with melee weapons. Now, uh, warriors with bone swords took a big hit from the transition between ninth edition and 10th edition. Bone swords were mega boss right at the end of ninth edition. So now, as the game fluxes, they've become less mega boss. So here we are. Tyranid warriors moving 6 inches. I think they gotta move. Movement is life. Tough five. It's not a lot. They're gonna get shredded. You're gonna take losses. Just be prepared for that. A save of a 4+. Man, get as much cover as you can. 3 wounds. That's the only thing that really helps them stick around. Standard bolter fire being on a 4, you're gonna take wounds and then you're gonna lose models, and that's just the way that is. Um, Leadership of a 7. They create their own synapse, so keep that in mind. They're always gonna roll 3d6 on leadership, and you're trying to get to 7. OC2. This is a world in which I can see their usefulness for having objective control too. That might be enough. Particularly a beefy squad, a full squad of warriors, is probably going to be enough to take an objective away from an enemy. So running them in as fast as you can and pressing in as insistently as you can with them. I don't like Tyranid warriors with melee weapons because there are better options out there. If you want to bring the melee combat pain, you bring Old One Eye with 2 Carnifexes. If you want to bring the pain, you bring Harusfexes. We just have better melee options. Even Trigons, Winged Hive Tyrants. I'm a big fan of 20 Gaunts, of 20 mana Gaunts. So keep that in mind. I don't think they're worth it, but maybe there's a world. If I'm playing a 4,000 point game and I have to bring every model I own, I mean, I've got 18 warriors, so I'll bring warriors in that case. But melee weapons. So they took away the individuality of the melee weapons. So if you've got crab claws or bone swords or lash whips or everything, it's now just melee weapons. So there's a lot of people out there who their models got more inclusive but now less specific, and I'm salty about that. Anyways, 6 attacks apiece. That's not bad. 6 attacks apiece is not bad. You're talking about 18 attacks with the standard 3-man squad. It's going to come with a prime as a sergeant and 2 regular warriors. 3+ weapon skill, which is good. It's the low side of average. You can't complain about that. The only thing better is a 2+, and that's basically reserved for Tyrainds. So, Strength 5, it's not great, but it's enough to wound Marines on a 3, which is where you want to be. AP2, that's the big winner here. AP2 is the big winner here. I always talk about AP in terms of good, better, best, and AP2 is better. 1 is good, 2 is better, 3 or more is best. 1 damage. That's where they're going to fall apart. 18 attacks, well, you're talking about probably 10 hits. Then you're talking about maybe 5 wounds. And then you're probably talking about 3 or 4 of those going through. If 4 of those go through, you've killed 2 Marines. That's pretty okay. I'm shooting all these videos from the perspective of Invasion Fleet. So with Invasion Fleet, I usually hyper adapt to Swarming Instincts. So that's going to be more hits because you're out of 18 attacks, you're going to get more 6s. So it's going to be more hits, which means it's going to be more wounds, which means you'll kill 2, maybe 3 Marines. And if your opponent's rolling bad, maybe more. But that's kind of where the rubber meets the road, because the kill ratio on a Haruspex is higher. The kill ratio on Carnispexes is higher. The kill ratio on Old One Eye, higher. Tyrant Guard with Tyrant, higher. And it's probably not as good as 20 Gaunts, Hormagaunts. So that's why I struggle. Going over, talk about abilities. Shadow on the Warp, which means as long as they're on the table, you have the ability to drop the Shadow on the Warp. Synapse, when it's up here in the abilities section, it means you can benefit from Synapse. When it's up here, you can benefit from Synapse. Here's kind of the sweeter thing that sweetens them a little bit. At the start of the fight phase, so it can change every fight phase, select one of the following. Until the end of the phase, each time a model in this unit makes an attack, reroll a hit roll of 1. That's going to get you more hits. Or until the end of the phase, each time a saving throw is made for a model in this unit, reroll a saving throw of 1. I would probably argue I'm going to go with aggressive imperative every time. Just because the 3+ save is still not a lot. It's not, I don't know. I would be more willing to go with aggression imperative every time and get the more hits and get the more kills. That's just me. Like I said, they come with a prime and 2 warriors, and you can bump it up to a prime and 5 warriors. A prime with 5 warriors, that's a lot of attacks. You're gonna get work done. You're either gonna, on like a 10-man Marine squad, for example, you're gonna hurt them, and maybe you don't have the wherewithal to finish them off, but you're gonna hurt them. And 6 warriors is gonna be OC 12, and I think that's really enough to take an objective away. Down here at the bottom, where it's talking about keywords, infantry, keep that in mind. That's good, which means they can move through ruins and walls and things like that. Synapse. Synapse is great. That means they give synapse. When you see the word synapse down here, it means they give synapse. Shooting from the perspective of invasion fleet, I gotta say, I don't think warriors, ranged weapons or melee weapon warriors, are worth my rapid regen. I just don't think they're worth it. I'm getting a rapid regen free every turn from my Tyrant, because it's a battle tactic stratagem, and the Tyrant's ability works on battle tactics. I would rather put my Tyrant out in a place where somebody wants to shoot at him, and his Tyrant Guard. Let the Tyrant Guard get the advantage of cover, and then rapid regen them. And just laugh as the Tyrant Guard take barely any wounds. So I'd rather put my Tyrant out there and be like, look at me, shoot me, because he's holding a heavy venom cannon. And although heavy venom cannons are not super boss, we don't have Shard Gullet like we had in 9th, they can still pump it out. And if you're talking about the middle objective on the table, that Tyrant is, with 3 guard, is holding that objective pretty soundly. So I would rather be putting my rapid regen there. They're a pretty decent. Oh, I completely forgot to mention Twin Linked. Twin Linked is you're going to get to reroll any failed wounds, and that's actually a pretty big deal. So keep the Twin Linked in there. That makes me feel that the warriors with bioweapons are more worth your points than the warriors without. Because that Twin Linked, that could really change things. You're going to put more wounds on right there with the Twin Linked. Maybe Adrenaline Surge, so their abilities like the Sustained Hits 1 procs on a 5. 6 times 6, 36 attacks with Sustained Hits, and then rerolling wounds. The math hammer sounds good on that one. So go ahead and check that out. I don't think they're worth pairing with a Winged Prime, but check that out in the Prime video. We here at the Dragon's Lair understand that you can spend your time anywhere on the internet. Thank you for spending your time here with us at the Dragon's Lair.